Well, because last summer was just quite simply so busy, I never got a chance to come and fish this venue. This is a venue that's just outside Sheffield. This is Harthill Reservoir. It's a little bit of a damp day today, but as you may be able to tell behind me, the reservoir is actually almost empty. So I'm going to have a quick walk round just to show you what this reservoir looks like now that the water levels have been dropped. Now, the last time that I was here, it's a while ago, it must be about a year ago now, the water level was literally in this long grass. See the yellowy grass there? The water level was there, and that's probably, I don't know if that's the maximum, but as you can see, this is the dam wall, and this is the bit we're going to have a look at first. There's a steep slope here, but it's interesting to see how far down that slope actually goes when this was at full capacity or when it's at its normal level. I never really knew. I've never fished on this dam wall. They have run quite a few matches here over the last couple of winters, and I wasn't really sure how deep it actually went down there and what that slope was like, but it doesn't go down quite as far. It probably goes down from where I am now. It's probably the base of the slope where it levels out just there would be about, it's about 10 to 12 meters out. So that's interesting to see, and then it just goes obviously from the grass hard surface there down onto mud down there. I very much doubt that you're going to be able to walk down there. I think that'll be too soft there, but we can have a look at the bottom of this slope because it is a little bit rocky. Part of the way along this wall it actually goes down a couple of ramps and then levels out onto this concrete bit here. There are actually some steps here that's going to make it easier to get down. Having not been over here before, I thought that the water could possibly go up to the top of the wall itself, where it's got that concave concrete shape in the top of it, but obviously not, because this bit here is obviously lower. So without there being an overflow there, I would have thought that that would be the maximum that this reservoir gets to. But let's have a walk down these steps. These are obviously going to make it easier to get down, and this will give us a better idea of the level and everything. You've got the markings on here, which obviously gives you a guide as to what the level would be like when it's up at that level. But yeah, it's quite rocky down here, isn't it? I have seen anglers fishing off this concrete bit here, but obviously down here you can see all this rock, plenty of shells down here as well, just showing the natural kind of food that's in here. And then as we get down the slope here, you see this is the base of the slope down there, but I can't really tell how far down that carries on going. But as you can see, it goes down. Look at this lot here. I can imagine that causing a few problems with your line running across that, but look at that lot. Thousands and thousands of them all the way along. Sure, you can hear them crunching underfoot. But the rocks do finish there, and then it goes on to this. I'm not sure how further down that goes. There's a big sheet of ice there, as you can see. You can see more of that there because the ripples hitting the water. And then the still bit is obviously where the sheet of ice is. But there's not much water left in here. In case you're wondering, there are still a few fish left in here. I'm led to believe that they did net it a few weeks ago when they took the vast majority of the water out. But there are still some fish in here. They're going to be netting the remaining fish, what's left in here, out of here over the next few days, I've been told. Whether we'll get a chance to be here for that, I don't know, because I'm not sure what day that's going to be. But it certainly gives it a different perspective when you're looking back up that wall. But that's, you know, it's typical of these sorts of places. I don't know if we're going to find any bits of tattle or kit down here or anything, but I'll follow it right the way along to where the mud bank hits, just to see what the contours of that far bank's like. It's crunching underfoot all the way along here. There we go, there's the first beachcomb find. Nice Drennan open ender. Look at all these all the way along. I thought they were, looking down from the top of the bank, I thought it was pebbles or gravel or whatever it is, but obviously it's not. But no doubt there'll be plenty of lost items of that like that in here. As we get along here, it's a lot muddier, but you can have a look at there, just have a look at the contours as it gets up towards the shallows. I have actually fished, did a couple of coaching sessions just at the other side of the boathouse over there, and we honestly felt, by plumbing up, we felt it was really smooth, and it looks like it is, but It looks very, very soft, but we're heading over there in a moment. I'm further along the dam wall now, and this is the area here where it changes, where it goes, it looks really soft. It's definitely going to be too soft to stand on, but I mean, there's a sheet of ice there as well. That's really soft there, isn't it? Imagine a feeder landing on that. We've got tennis balls in there and all sorts, but yeah, really soft there. Definitely too soft to stand on. And then it looks like they've done a bit of work here, but then it gets a little bit more gravelly as you start working your way back up into that, or where that shallower water would be. The first time I came here, a passerby was telling me how there were 1 or 2 steep drop-offs, shelves to look for, channels and all sorts of things. And as I'm finding out now, I only really fished that one area, so obviously I know how that panned out as regards plumbing up and features and stuff, but I didn't know about the rest of the reservoir. And as I'm finding out, that bit of information definitely wasn't correct. As you can see, I'm in the far corner now, opposite the car park, and if I pan round, you can see the contours of the res. There isn't any slopes, no drop-offs, no channels. It's just dead smooth, gradual slope until you get towards the middle, which I say the middle, it's probably slightly nearer that far bank, which is the deepest bit, but there isn't anything. And over here, look how solid that is. It's just almost like a beach. No snags. I mean, that's fantastic, isn't it? If you ever fish on these banks, there isn't any rocks, absolutely nothing. Just a really gradual slope. I don't know how far down there we can go, but we'll go a little bit further down, but I can feel it slowly getting softer and softer underfoot. As you can see, there's nothing here, which should make it really, really nice for fishing on. It's getting a little bit softer underfoot now, and I gather it's just going to get softer and softer until we get further down there. So this up here is the shallows, and just there where that footbridge is, which is where I'm heading now, that is where it would go into this, what we refer to as the second lake, and that's the lake that I've fished more than any other here, and that is also empty by the looks of it. The only channel that I've seen so far is where this stream comes in. It's hardly a major feature, but there we go, another one. They're really popular feeders on this place, aren't they? That's about 4 of those I've found. Old Drennan feeder sales must be doing well. But this is the only stream coming in. This is halfway along the far bank. And there you go, it's not exactly a major feature, is it? But yeah, it's quite a bit of water coming in. That's carved out a bit of a channel heading right the way down towards the middle as you'd expect, but that's certainly not a major feature, is it? Well, that far side over here, it's really just featureless. Apart from right the way up here, you've got the reed beds and things. Obviously they'll come into play when the water level's right up. But as regards actually out where you're actually fishing, there's absolutely nothing. It's just an incredibly slow slope, just a really steady slope down there. A bit more growth and stuff here, weed and stuff. I don't know if that's because this is generally weedy, this corner, when it's up. And then we're over on the far side now where the bridge is, where the split is. And as you can see, we've got another wall here where it separates this lake from the other one at the other side. Again, it looks very rocky, obviously, but I don't know if there's going to be the same amount of rocks and stuff at the base of it as what there is down there. Let's have a look. Again, no feature at all, except what we have got, and I don't know how long that's been there, and that is the channel of where the water has ran out of the lake at that side, where it's ran underneath the bridge, and it's carved out at this top end a channel almost of a river in its own right. So let's have a look at that, because sometimes they can be quite deep and almost a bit of a hindrance if you were casting a feeder over to them. Well, the wall at this side, as you'd expect, isn't as big, isn't as deep. You've got rocks there, then the rocks finish, but it does carry on going, but then it levels out quite quickly. That's leveling out at probably, it's a good, what, 8 to 10 meters from the top of that bank, where, you know, the highest that you could possibly fish it. Again, look at this lot. everywhere, aren't they? And then that is the channel where the water's flowing in. I would expect it's very soft right on the edge of that, but that's where you look through to where the other lake would be that is no longer there, and then the water's flowing through, and then you've just got that channel where it's carved, running right down the centre, right down to the bottom of the dam wall where the deepest water is. So even here, just this small area here, you've got so many different fluctuations in depth, haven't you? Plenty of features to have a go at, but again, the majority of it, if you were casting a feeder or fishing out there, lovely and smooth, isn't it? No snags, nothing. Really, really nice to fish on. So that is from the shallower end, and then you can see the lake here, which is the one that I fish more than anything, to be fair. Not for a few years, admittedly. This was the second lake. As you can see, no features either, apart from, again, that little bit of a riverbed running right down the middle, but again, really nice and clean. We never had any trouble with snags and things in there, obviously that's why. Used to catch lots of tension there as well. As regards this lake, what was in here, there were a hell of a lot of carp in here, lots of bream, there were tench as well, but I know there was a massive head of big roach as well, which sadly last summer I never got a chance to come and fish for. That was one of the things I was going to come here to do, but it's such a shame I never got a chance to fish it. But when you see it like this, it really puts it, it's nice to put facts rather than assumptions about what it's like out there underneath the water. It's nice to see it like this because it gives you some actual facts to work with. One of the things we're always talking about is feature finding, particularly on reservoirs like this where they look relatively featureless. As you can see, there's no ledges, there's nothing here. However, there can be areas, particularly on carp lakes, when we might be looking for gravel bars and things like that. This is a prime example of that where I am now. As you can see, just here it's really soft. As you can see, it's all cracked and everything, and that is really, really soft. Obviously, when there's water on that, it'll be even softer, and it looks like there may be stuff growing in that as well when it's at its normal level or when that's underwater. But if I just go over here, literally 1 metre, have a look at that. That, it's not gravel, but look at that, it's a completely different surface altogether. And you can see the difference there where it changes from that to that. There's even rocks there on that area, and then we get over here, it goes back again to that what's really soft and all cracked. It's just sometimes those little details can make a massive difference, especially if you're fishing on soft bottom venues where there might be silt and that sort of thing. If you've got harder areas like this to put a feeder over, or even to fish over, even with a pole, then that can give you a massive advantage. And that's why quite often we spend a long time looking for features and just trying to find out what the bottom's like before we decide where to fish. It's amazing how many times just seeing venues like this with no water in them can give you a huge advantage and just a better understanding about what these large open water reservoirs are like. And I hope you found it interesting. If you have, please let us know by giving this video a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, similar topical videos like this, as well as obviously all the fishing videos, please consider subscribing. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.